What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. We got another one here for you. This is the body cam footage. I haven't seen this one yet, so we're gonna watch it together. Something about a woman being punched by an officer in Ohio. So hope this is your neighborhood. Let's see what's going on here.
Hi, did you have a bad day inside?
No, sir. I went through the drive-thru earlier.
Okay.
She refused to take my dollar to give me 30 cents after I paid it for extra cheese.
Okay.
There was a young lady who was very nice, by the way, before I got introduced to this lady in the burgundy.
Okay.
She asked the lady in the burgundy shirt to remake my sandwich. She comes up to the desk, wanted me to pay her another 30 cents. So 49 plus 30 plus 30. For what when I'm not even getting enough pieces of cheese. You only put one on here when I already paid the 49 cents for the extra piece of cheese. So now you're charging me 60 cents more. So then she got an attitude because I asked her for a refund and called the police because she didn't want to give me back my money. And I told them I'm in a black truck and I'm waiting. Okay. She finally gave me the refund literally 8 seconds before I got in the car and started it up. The problem was all I wanted was to be remade with an extra piece of cheese.
I completely understand.
She started screaming at me, and I'm just like, well, ma'am, she explained it to you.
Girl likes her cheese.
Why won't you go make it? Well, you need to pay me 30 cents. I said, the lady that just came and got the paper already took the 30 cents on top of the 49. Why would I give another 30 cents, which makes it 60 plus 49 cents?
So they've made you whole?
No.
They haven't made you whole?
Well, I mean, yeah, she gave me my money back, so I'm gonna go somewhere else. But
okay.
The problem was she should have just remade it like the lady asked her. I came all the way back here to get my sandwich. Obviously, I wanted to go home with it. I didn't understand where she got confused at after the lady already said, yeah, just go ahead and remake it, put a piece of cheese in the middle. She started getting all extra, wanted me to pay her again. No, ma'am, it doesn't work like that. I paid now 3 times for only 1 piece of cheese that I still didn't even get.
Okay.
So she gave me a refund. I'm leaving. She started screaming at me, telling me to have a good day and not to come back here. And I said, I won't.
So you didn't say anything. You was a complete angel. Because I'm getting information, you're getting disorderly in the store.
Did.
Okay, all right.
I did.
So here's what's going to happen. You've been made whole, right? You got your money back.
I'm leaving. You pulled up. I didn't want you to have to chase me down
here's what we're going to do. They want you trespass. They don't.
Who cares?
Just listen. I know. It doesn't mean anything.
It's a McDonald's.
They don't want you. There's one on every corner.
Customers are right. Thank you.
Okay.
I won't come back.
Does this car come back to you?
No, it does not.
Okay. Can I get a driver's license number or something from you, or name and date of birth?
I don't have one.
Well, I'm going to issue a trespass notice, and I have to fill out a piece of paper.
I can care less.
Okay. I just need some information.
No.
Wow.
But I do.
You gave a description, you can use that, but no, sir.
So I'm filling out a paper.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Fill it out.
It's going to have your information on it so that you can't come back on the property.
Who wants to? It's a McDonald's.
I understand
like you said,
that. But I have to serve you with a piece of paper.
I'm not about to give you my info. Sorry.
You are, because it's a crime if you don't.
No, it's not.
Because you're trespassing.
The crime is her being nasty and won't make my sandwich the way I paid for it. It's my money.
Okay.
That's nasty.
You're going to make it more difficult than it has to be.
If you arrest me, I promise you're going to have a problem.
I won't have a problem.
I promise you.
No. I won't have a problem.
Not over a sandwich. Not over a sandwich.
All I want to do is give you a piece of paper.
You have to identify yourself.
There's so many McDonald's out here.
We're okay.
The rude ass bitch.
Now you're getting disorderly. Take it up to another level. Take it up to another level.
Stop.
I'm fine. I just want to fill out a piece of paper.
For what?
A trespass notice.
She refused to make.
Because they want you to trespass off their property. They have the right to do it. I mean, you can tell the cop doesn't want to take the paperwork down, but he has to because they want her trespassed. If McDonald's wants you trespassed, then the officer got to do his job. Well, is she driving off? Or is that somebody else driving off? All you got, they're not giving you a ticket, ma'am. They just want your information. Look, and she's parked in a handicap spot. I wonder if she's got a handicap placard. I bet you she don't have a handicap placard. She doesn't. Excuse me. I don't want the grandma police getting on mine. He needs some of those little, you know, those things you put on a file.
Don't
Put
touch
your hands.
Okay, my last name is Hancock. I already
your
told
hands.
you that.
She's like swinging towards him.
I don't want to, for real. It's Latika. I'm telling you. Why would you do that? Okay, I'm saying okay.
Okay, she's fighting.
You're gonna get paid.
Okay. I said okay.
Behind your back.
Sir, wait.
Put your hands.
Okay, this is all.
Can I please just have my
Turn around and face the car.
Well, I'm twisted.
Up against. Turn around and face the car.
Oh my God. Why would you punch me? Why would you punch me? Look at my face.
Okay, we didn't see the punch.
Why did you punch me? Look at my mouth. Oh my God.
That's all right. She's stacked.
I know. I'm just gonna have to
Go on the side.
in the car.
My last. Look at my face. Why would you punch me? I didn't even hit you.
Lady, you were swinging your arms around and stuff.
Why would you punch me like that?
$3.11.
Why? Why? You didn't need to punch
That's when you don't
One in
cooperate.
custody. Just log she resisted.
Get your shoe. Get your shoe. Get your shoe.
Where is it? I can't see it.
Put your shoe on.
See, she took it to that level.
Sorry.
Didn't have to even be this way.
Can I just please go home now?
No, you're going to jail.
Come on.
Please, can I go home?
No, you can't go home now.
Okay. My name is Latika.
Oh, now you want to give
It
your
didn't have to be
name.
this way, Latika.
I'm sorry, please.
It didn't have to be this way.
I want to go home.
Not anymore.
Okay. My mouth.
Yeah.
Do y'all give people stuff?
You
for
got to
their
call an
mouth?
ambulance.
I got it.
I
Get
can't.
seated.
Excuse me, sir.
Listen to me. Stop
Why
and
you
listen.
punch me
Stop
like
and
that? My
listen.
mouth hurts.
Stop and listen. Do you have any guns or knives on you?
Do I have a what?
Guns or knives on you?
No. My lip feels like it's busted or
And we will
something.
get
It
a
is.
medic to
We're gonna-
see you.
But I mean, like, is my skin on my lip hanging? Because it feels like it.
Nope.
My lip is busted, sir.
Butler
Like,
310. Can you start a medic?
I don't have no.
Non-emergency.
See,
Man, it
I'm
didn't
sorry.
even have to be this
Everybody's
way.
gonna
I
be.
want to go, please.
You're going.
No,
You,
man.
Stop.
you brought it to this.
Sit down till the medic gets here to see
I don't
you.
want to go.
You don't have a
You just caused us to use force against you.
No, but you
ca-
punched me on
did
your
you-
own will.
No, it's because you
I
were
didn't
resisting.
punch you.
You don't have
I
to.
didn't resist.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I'm a female. Look at my
It's
back.
all resisting. It don't matter what sex you are.
In the car.
See, real quick, guys. So I know a lot of people are gonna get mad at me for this. I'm not sticking up for the cop, but you saw her moving around, right? These officers deal with people all the time that pull guns on them. They don't know that she had a gun or no, they hadn't patted her down yet or nothing. They don't know if she had a gun on her or not yet. All right, you know, he had to do whatever he could. You saw her moving around and jiggling and jaggling.
Okay, I'm going.
No, get in the car.
Sir, okay.
Get in the car.
In the car.
I'm going to.
No, you're not. You're still arguing.
No, I'm not. I'm just asking.
Car.
Get in the car.
Why are y'all so like this over a sandwich?
Close the door.
Cause you made it that way.
Fucking bitch. I'm not about to give you my info. Sorry.
You are.
I just
because
won't come
it's a
back
crime
here.
If you don't.
No, it's
Because
not.
you're trespassing.
The crime is her being nasty and won't make my sandwich the way I paid for it.
Why are
It's
they-
my money.
Oh, they're blurring
That's
out the
nasty.
You're going to
police
make it more
officer.
difficult than it has to be.
If you arrest me, I promise you're going to have a problem.
I won't have a problem.
Yes, you will. Because
Ma'am,
no,
ma'am,
I will
no,
have a
ma'am,
problem.
ma'am.
Not over a
We're
sandwich.
just trying to identify
Not
you to
over
give you a piece of
sandwich.
paper.
This is deep.
All I want to do is
Okay,
give you-
that's it. You have to identify
Why?
yourself
There's so many McDonald's out here.
because
For
we
what?
we've already explained
She
that to
was
you.
the rude ass
Ma'am,
bitch.
Now you're
ma'am,
getting disorderly.
stop,
Take it up to another level.
stop,
Take it up to another
Bring
level.
yours down.
Stop.
Because I'm done.
Fine.
Stop.
I'm going to a piece of paper.
That's
For
it.
what? Over a sandwich that she
Criminal-
refused to make?
Are you going to stop and listen or are
Who's
you
going
going
to
to
go in
holler?
there and make her remake
If
my
you don't
sandwich?
stop,
Nobody.
If you don't stop, you're going to end up going to jail. Stop.
Hancock, Hancock. Write it down so I
Calm
can go.
down.
No, because you're not about to act like
No,
that over a sandwich
stop.
she didn't make right.
Stop.
You don't need to act
go to
like
jail
that
over
either.
this.
Exactly.
Okay, so
That's
calm
what I'm
down.
saying. Like over a fucking sandwich?
You're making us your enemy.
I'm ready. I gave you my info.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I said my
Calm
last name,
down.
Hancock, 3616. Damn. Over a
Miss-
fucking burger that she didn't
Miss-
even make right.
Miss-
That I traveled way far
Are you
for.
going to listen to me? Miss Hancock, what's your first name? The easiest thing to do is just give us your
For
info.
what?
We
Over
give
a
you a
fucking
trust.
sandwich.
We give you a piece of paper
For
and you
what?
don't come
I
back.
don't, no,
Then you're free
you
to
told me I'm
leave.
trespassed, so I'm not coming back.
But we have to serve
That's
you
my
with a
free
criminal
will.
trespass notice.
No, you don't.
Yes, by law
No,
we do.
you just want
okay,
to
then we're
because
going to
she
arrest
fucking
you.
called.
Then we're going to arrest
No,
you
you're
for failing
not.
to identify.
No, you're
then
not.
identify yourself.
No.
Yes.
For what? Over a sandwich?
Ma'am, stop.
She didn't
Identify
herself.
yourself or we'll have to arrest you.
So look, she's in the
Now
handicap
stop.
parking. There's
Over a
no
fucking
handicap
sandwich.
plate on
Yes,
her.
over a sandwich. So
car.
you're making a
There's
bad
kids
decision
missing
over.
every day, though. But you
Ma'am?
coming for me over a
Ma'am?
burger? Y'all,
Ma'am?
it's too much.
You're not leaving until you identify yourself.
Bruh, if you don't get the...
You better
Okay,
calm
so
down.
she just threatened him. She's like,
I'm not
bruh.
giving you nothing. I already said it.
Okay, you're under arrest. Put
No,
your hands
I'm
behind your
not.
back. Put
No,
your
I'm
hands
not.
behind your back.
No, I'm
You
not.
are under arrest for failure to identify.
Don't
Put
take
your
me.
now
hands.
she's
Okay,
resisting.
my last name is Hancock. I already
your
told
hands
you that.
behind your
No,
back.
I don't want
Put
to.
your
for real.
hands-
It's Latika. I'm telling you.
Okay, so she's punched. She just
I'm
punched.
saying
She look. She's
okay.
punching.
Put your hands behind your back. You're gonna get
I said
tased.
okay. I said
Put
okay.
your hands behind
Wait.
your back.
Sir, wait. I
Put
said
your
okay.
hands-
Okay.
Stop.
I'm gonna get down. Can I please
Up against the
just have
car.
my arm?
Up against the
Well,
car.
I'm twisted.
Up against.
Help.
Up against the
Turn
car.
around, face the car. Oh my God. Why would you punch me?
I still didn't see him punch her yet. But I mean, obviously he did because she's bleeding.
Okay.
Look at my mouth. Oh my God.
That's all right. She's stuck. I know. I'm just gonna have to go to the side of the car.
My leg.
Why did you take it that far, lady? I mean, come on.
Can I have something for my mouth, please? Why would you punch me like
Color
that?
311.
All right, guys. I'm sorry. That lady was in the wrong. Did the police maybe? I don't know if he punched her. They don't really show the punch, but she should have been acting that way. Let's just put it that way. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a good day, good night, whatever. All right, guys. We'll get this. So I thought it was over. It's not over. So this is a couple of days afterwards, and this is her with some attorneys. Let's watch let's see what they got to talk about here.
I want to introduce my client,
Oh, man, it's only 1 year.
Latika Hancock, and also Dr. Derek Ford, president of the Dayton unit of the NAACP. So where do I start? This is a very incredibly sad day when Miss Latika Hancock's life has been upended over a piece of cheese.
That she caused
I want to be
herself.
clear, this incident should have never occurred in the first place.
Yeah, because should have had the attitude.
McDonald's should be ashamed of resorting to calling the police over a disagreement for an order that they got wrong. If they can't manage basic customer service and now opting to potentially put a person's life in jeopardy over a mishandled Big Mac, it doesn't seem safe
She put her life in
for
jeopardy,
black
not
people
McDonald's.
to go and eat at McDonald's anymore.
Oh, it's not safe for black people to
We
eat McDonald's
understand
anymore.
that police officers have an incredibly difficult job. Many officers do excellent work and take seriously their oath to serve and protect. In fact, millions of taxpayers' dollars are spent on training and educating officers in an effort to put officers on the streets who are poised and ready to handle all types of situations. But what happened to Ms. Hancock is inexcusable, and it's a real example of how officers got it wrong.
No, she got it wrong.
Sergeant Stanley deserves to be fired and charged with assault for his outrageous overreaction. The way he handled Ms. Hancock was despicable.
The way she acted was despicable.
He wasn't humane to her, punching her in the face, absolutely ridiculous. It's obvious from body cam that these officers came with a chip on their shoulders,
No, they
you know,
didn't.
looking
She
for
had
a
a
fight,
chip on her shoulder.
rather than to de-escalate. They escalated the situation when Miss Hancock when she was being reasonable. And you heard Chief Porter. He said, well, her injuries were minimal. She spent the night in the hospital. She was diagnosed with a closed head injury. She has a busted lip. She has loose teeth. She is limping. She has a back injury. This was brutal. And you can see from the video that this was brutal and so unnecessary.
Her face looks fine to me.
These officers, and especially Stanley, they don't belong on the force. He belongs behind bars. You know, and to add insult to injury, you know, this happened on Monday. This happened on Martin Luther King Day.
Oh no, it happened on Martin Luther King Day.
So we talk about, you know, how far we've come. You know, based on this, how far have we come?
Give me a break.
When an officer
Give me a break.
treats her inhuman, punching a woman in the face multiple times, punching a black woman in the face multiple times.
Oh, now
This
they both
infuriates
work
me. It really infuriates me because this was so unnecessary and it didn't have to happen.
Yeah, because she acted like a child.
And it's frustrating because I sit here, you know, time and time again, and we discuss officers' actions.
This didn't happen because she was black.
De-escalation. What does
It
that
happened
look
'cause
like?
she was an idiot.
Abusive,
Acted irrational.
you know, force, reasonable force. Nothing about this was reasonable.
Did you see the way she was acting? She went like this to the
And,
cop. Oh,
you know,
I'm gonna.
I hurt with Smith Hancock. I really do. Because this should not have occurred. I'll turn it over to, you know, Dr. Ford.
So you just heard your attorney, Michael Wright. You know, here it is, I was marching on that day when we celebrate the life and legacy of MLK Jr. We celebrate his life because he wants to bring people together. Community, police. Police, community. And unbeknownst of myself and Attorney Wright on this day, that we celebrate the man King, that this incident was occurring right before our eyes.
But it's not because she was black. It's because of how she was acting.
And when I think about our client, because she also filed a complaint with our office. She filed a complaint with the Dayton Unit NAACP. So she has secured us from a civil and human rights standpoint as our client as well. And when I read through her complaint, and I talked to her over the phone, and as you can see, she's very distraught right now. She's shaking because of what happened with her. Police departments, through their APATA training, yes, they're taught that they can use their fists, but they are not taught to use their fists on a face. They're taught to use their fists on soft tissue, such as your arm. So policy was not followed in this particular case.
What are they supposed to do?
Not only that,
She was attacking him almost. She said,
Boulder Township has a good record in terms of going through the Ohio Collaborative in terms of training. Their training through the Ohio Collaborative should mirror,
Mira.
their policy should mirror the training that they took
Mirror.
through the Ohio Collaborative. And nowhere do I see that punching our client in the face is a part of that training. Nowhere do I see pointing a taser at someone's head is a part of training. Training with tasers is that you are going to go from from mid-body down as it relates to tasers. You don't point a taser at a black female's head.
When she's acting like she was, yeah,
Dead
you
wrong.
do.
He should also be on leave. That's our position.
She deserved everything
That
she
here
got.
it is, I think about this, even though she's not near my mother's age, but this could have been my mother. This could have been my sister. This could have been my niece. And it's very disturbing. And
The
we're
way
going to
she
call
acted was
upon
very disturbing.
Chief Porter to do the right thing. I know he said that he's going to have a swift investigation. He looks to conclude his investigation by next week. And I hope that that swift investigation includes the removal of his officer.
It's a blame game. It's always everybody else's fault.
We'll take a few questions at this point.
You talked about a piece of cheese. We haven't heard a whole lot about what led up to this incident and why the police were even called. Can you go into that a little bit more? Because you were saying McDonald's is part of this as well.
Right. Ms. Hancock had an order that was wrong. She went back into McDonald's to discuss her
She said
order to
herself,
make
"I
it
told him off. I got
to get it
crazy on him."
corrected, and the customer service wasn't good inside of McDonald's. They did refund her money, but they didn't like the way that she had she didn't like McDonald's didn't like the interaction, and they
Well, look how
ended
she
up
acted towards
calling
the
the
cops.
police.
Can you imagine how she was acting towards McDonald's?
Bottom line is that, she had a legitimate,
I'd love to see the footage from inside
complaint.
McDonald's.
They dismissed her. They just tried to, make her leave the store without correcting the situation. She ended up leaving the store. They called the police, and she waited on the police. That's what she was doing. She wanted to tell the police her version of the story, and then that's when the officers, aggressively, condescendingly came up to her, and, you saw the rest of it on the video. So it had to do with
saw her being
an
a
order
stupid
that
idiot.
was not correct, and it was McDonald's mistake.
A 30-cent piece of cheese that she paid for. She had a receipt for it. And not only that, while she was in the store, she's telling the manager, comes and intervenes in the situation, and the manager tells the young lady to fix her sandwich, to make it correct. Well, she wants to be commander-in-chief. She wants to take the law into her own hands and say, say again?
The cook.
Yeah, the cook want to take the law into his own hands and say, you need to give us 30 more cents. She says, no, I'm not going to give you 30 more cents.
She took
Look
the
at the
law
receipt.
into her own hand.
The receipt says I've already paid for the extra cheese on my Big Mac sandwich.
So there was
All over a Big Mac
internal argument between the manager and the cook.
Yes.
Regarding her order. The cook took exception and came from the back out to the front to confront Ms. Hancock. And, the manager asked her to leave. She left. She wanted to
You
wait
just can't
on the
make this
police
stuff up,
to tell
folks.
them her version of the story, and then that's how all this ensued.
Over cheese. Think about that. Cheese. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and the way she acted. So
I'm really sorry this happened to you. Could you tell us how you're feeling?
Well, one, I'm glad that I'm able to be here, to be honest, to tell my side of the story. I don't want people to feel like I'm complaining for a piece of cheese. The message behind everything is misconstrued. When I realized that I wasn't
this
going
was
to
memorized.
get the sandwich that I
This
paid
was
for, I
misconstrued.
repeatedly asked this lady,
Oh yeah, she practiced.
if you do not like your job, then you shouldn't have came to work today. Customer service, customers are always right.
She's lying.
If we weren't, they wouldn't have made it a slogan. you wouldn't hear it on commercials. You wouldn't hear it on a TV show. They wouldn't say it in a jingle when they said, come to McDonald's. And so I went in with good intentions. I came with everything. I brought back the sandwich. I brought back the fries. Brought back the original receipt.
I want to see the inside footage, don't you?
To the gentleman that was standing next to the manager, I ate 4 of the fries. Wasn't sure if I should bring the fries back or not, but they're here. 4 of them is missing. He jokingly says, at least you're honest, because most people will eat half or if not all and say that it wasn't in the bag. It is our job.
You can tell when people are lying when they say too much stuff.
Give you your money back or try to give you something else if we couldn't make you happy. All I wanted that lady to do was just follow the instructions that I didn't give her. Her manager handed her the sandwich, handed her the receipt. I just talked to her.
You can tell this girl is lying.
Oh, she's already paid for the 30 pieces, the 30 cent
she was
piece of
the
cheese,
whole entire time.
plus the 49-cent piece that it cost at the drive-thru initially. You leave where the sandwiches come up to come and ask me to pay again. No, ma'am. You attacked me pretty much and was aggressive when I asked you, ma'am, why won't you just make the sandwich? I'm not your manager, so I didn't come back there and ask you to make that sandwich. She is your superior. She's over you, supervisor, assistant, however it works. She gave you instructions. And obviously you're not a cashier because you wasn't at the register when we all walk in. So therefore, you went out of your way to not do what was asked.
Look, he's trying to coach her right there.
Then you want me to leave. Yes, ma'am. But I want either the sandwich
How much longer do we got to hear this?
or my money. Because you still haven't explained to me what justified you to feel the way you felt. So when you said leave, I will be in the parking lot and I will wait on the police officers. She's relieving the scene. I don't know if she drove here or walked here, but she's leaving.
How do you know what they said?
You said to get out. I'm no longer in the building, but I will wait in the parking lot. Did I know that I was going to be attacked? No.
You weren't attacked. You turned into a psycho on the cops. You were resisting.
Made sure that at least I tried to show that my demeanor wasn't threatening. I used that time to go outside.
That's not threatening.
Kind of decompress. I used that time to think about the decisions I made. Yes, I said, well, maybe, but I'm gonna wait. She doesn't want to hear my side. This is what the police officers are for. You call them to intervene, and I stayed to allow them to help us figure it out.
How do you feel about your interaction with police?
Personally, to be honest, I'm scared because that video shows a woman explaining herself, giving the evidence.
She can't even get the tears to come out. She can't even cry.
And so when he asked me to identify myself, it wasn't that I'm trying to, what's the correct word? Be belligerent or try to say I, didn't need to ID myself. It wasn't that. It's over a sandwich. A sandwich.
Yeah, we could be saying the same thing to you.
I have to literally now sign a paper for trespassing. I have to now go through all of this stuff when if it would have been done right, I wouldn't have had to come back. I could have been at home and ate the sandwich and the fries. But because
and if you hadn't given an attitude and tried to punch the cop,
get it at least police figured out, I almost lost my life behind it. The reason why I said, I'm going to be quiet now. I'm going to stand up. I'm not going to be George Floyd. They're not going to get me on the ground. They're not going to attack me.
Still, you notice there's still no tears, right?
Get on the ground. You're resisting arrest. Sir, I'm not resisting.
Do you see any water coming out of her eyes?
You have my back, but I'm crossed over. I said, how? I'm not fighting you, but how?
There's no tears.
You have my left, he has my right. You said place them behind my back. You gotta let go first.
Oh, now there's a
You gotta
tear.
at least turn me around.
She finally got a tear
And in the process
out.
of me motioning in the video to my shoe, you hit me repeatedly in the face. And I said, sir, what justifies
Now
you
he hit her repeatedly in the
close
face.
fist me in the face? This is what happens when you resist arrest. Had you would have done what we asked you to do, you wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So I shut up and I stood straight and I kept my feet planted on the ground and I said, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to be quiet. I'm not going to move. I'm not going to say anything else. I just want it to be done. I'm in the video saying, I just want to go home at this point. It's not worth it over a sandwich.
Yeah, and you brought it to that point.
I know this is really emotional for you. It's really hard. Do you have children?
Yes, ma'am. I have a little girl and she's 6 years old. And she was not with me at the time of this incident.
But I know this video has been making its rounds on social media, and from the body cam and the body cam video we saw, we can't see him hit you, but from the video that someone took, a witness that was inside the McDonald's that day, this video has gone viral. Has your little girl seen it?
No, ma'am.
And I guess that's a very good point. That's another thing. You saw from their press conference that they didn't show the video of her being punched in the face. You know, so based on their body cam, based on their dash cam, they didn't show that. It took an innocent bystander who was concerned about someone else to videotape this to get that footage. So had we not had that, we wouldn't have really seen exactly what happened.
Well, let us see it.
You know, you can't see that the officer was just punching her
I see
in the
another
face
video over
from
here, so we'll
the
see it.
videos that they produced. You know, that came from independent bystander. And what's interesting is that they didn't do anything or address any of this until that video went viral. It took the video going viral for them to do something about this. And, you know, they're putting them on paid administrative leave. They're going to take 1 week to do whatever investigation that they're doing. They're investigating themselves. So it's going to take 1 week for them to say that, you know, this officer followed their protocol, followed their procedure. We already know how they're going to come back with their investigation.
How do you know that?
So we do need
How do you know
somebody independent to investigate
Because you
this
know they
officer and this police department, because they can't investigate themselves.
So what happens now from your perspective? Because you said that it's going to take a week for them, and you've asked for an independent.
Well, I requested a bunch of items from them. So I want the videos that they have. I want the dispatch information that they have. We'll do, you know, our due diligence to get the evidence that we need to further show that this was uncalled for.
And you know what's going to happen? She's going to get paid, too.
investigating to answer your
I
question.
bet you she gets
Mr.
paid.
Ray, as the attorney, and I know you've been practicing law for a while now, if you could remind us of that, I'd appreciate it greatly. 2 points I wanted to ask of you. Has the video been requested from inside the McDonald's?
The video has been requested from inside the McDonald's, yes.
And 2, out of respect for your client, can you give us the definition for future individuals? How does somebody trespass somebody off a property when they're getting services that are paid for services and they have a minor complaint?
Yeah, and that's That's a great question. The fact is when someone calls to
You own a business and you don't want them to
trespass
come
someone
anymore.
off of a property,
trespass them.
they're not trespassed until they are given the information that they are no longer allowed back on the property. So they weren't trespassed at that point. So what the officer indicated or what the chief indicated, that's incorrect. They weren't trespassed at that point.
Yeah, that's why they're trying to get her name to
with
trespass.
McDonald's Corporation over their policy on, especially in this particular case.
Once I get the video, I want to see what happened inside of that McDonald's. Their internal conflict between their manager, and one of their employees, that's really what started all of this. Had they communicated properly, had they just fixed her sandwich and let her go on her way, we wouldn't be here. So there's a comedy of errors here.
And just think about what Attorney Wright just said about the video that was not shown, but the video that was shown to the general public. Think about a Walter Scott. A Walter Scott who someone was in the bushes filming. And if that video had never surfaced, that police would have got off scot-free. Think about this got me so frustrated. Think about
me frustrated.
John Crawford III, where a bystander reported something that wasn't true, but led to the death of a man, and that's what she felt. In her own words.
We're very, frustrated
She
by
brought this
the
upon herself.
transparency of
Did
this
McDonald's mess up?
department.
Probably.
Again,
But did it need
as I
her to get this
stated,
way? No.
The videos that they showed didn't show her being punched in the face, and it's pretty interesting that they have every other view but the view where it shows her being assaulted, being, choked, and this should not have happened. These officers were totally out of bounds.
Well, we're going to watch. I see another video over
totally
here in
out
the
of
corner.
bounds.
We're going to watch it.
And I guess 2 questions here. Ms. Hancock, what does justice look like for you?
Justice is, for me, is for any person, whether you're a female or a male, no matter what color you are. Because to me, I don't feel that when you look at a person, you should see color. You would think.
And why you bringing it up right now?
2023, that we would be not over it, because that's not the word I want to say, but better than where we came from.
Right.
They taught us all through growing up.
We want to hold these officers accountable.
Be accountable.
See, look, he's having to tell her what to say.
Has a
This is all
consequence
rehearsed,
or a
folks.
reaction, and that can be good and that can be bad. But in that moment, I felt the only thing that could have been done in my situation was to be quiet. Once I realized
You weren't quiet, though.
there could be a point, because I thought about it, that I wasn't going to go home, I felt that what I had to say didn't even matter at this point. Now I just need to make it home to my daughter.
Right. Justice is accountability. They didn't act properly. And
She
they should
didn't
be
act
held
properly.
accountable.
She
And
needs to
if
be held accountable.
Chief Porter believes that their actions were reasonable, then he should be held accountable as well.
The whole department.
So, we'll take one more question.
Is it possible that you will be filing a lawsuit against McDonald's and Butler Township?
Well, it's premature right now. I want to get all the evidence, and I want to look at everything and then make a determination.
Oh, you know
But
they're
we
gonna
do
file a
know
lawsuit.
That at this point, McDonald's didn't do what they were supposed to do. The officers didn't do what they were supposed to do, and they need to be held accountable. So whether that means me filing a lawsuit
your
at some
client
point,
needing to be held accountable?
I don't know.
For her
at this point.
actions.
Yes, sir.
How, in the light of with the George Floyd incident, how are we still here? I mean, how?
That
Clearly something
You notice? Okay, I gotta say something real quick. He said he wasn't gonna take any more questions, right? And he looked at that guy. Somebody else got the question in first. That question that was pre-planned.
I mean, that's a great question. And as she told you, you know, Latika said, I didn't want to get on the ground. They were trying to force me on the ground, and then they started punching me in the face. You know, when this is a black woman, you have two white police officers.
They don't want to bring color into
police
it.
Officers that escalated this situation. She was saying, this is ridiculous. This is over a piece of cheese. This is over a hamburger. And you're going to throw me on the ground. You're going to punch me in the face.
They weren't trying to.
You're right. This is.
They just wanted to write her
should be
a trespass
different
notice.
Policing. You know, this was unnecessary.
Yeah, because of what she did.
But once she complied and told them their name, shouldn't it have been over?
Well, it shouldn't have even got to that point.
Yes, because your client should have shut the F up and just given them her name.
I want to thank everyone for coming out, asking questions, because this is important. And this must stop. These officers and their brutality and their, you know, condescending approach, this has to stop. This is a mother. She was
mother
in
with a
McDonald's
loud mouth.
trying to exchange trying to get
threatening
an order
the
right.
cops.
And then she's all over the news now, getting punched and beat up, and you know and this is online. You know, as we discussed, at some point her daughter may be able to, you know, pull this up and see this. If they Google her name, you know, that's going to come up, and this could have been prevented.
Yeah,
You saw
had
the
she not
officer
acted the way
when
she
he was
acted.
coming up to her, he was cracking his knuckles. You know, he was ready for a fight. You know, he was ready. You know, condescending, didn't want to listen to anything at all that she had to say. She was the one coming to him saying,
She
"Sir,
didn't want to listen to
this
what
is
he
what
was saying."
happened." He didn't want to hear that.
So just to be clear, you're asking for the officer's resignation, you're asking for a transfer.
We're asking for the officer to be fired, not for his resignation. We're asking him to be terminated. And to be convicted and to be charged. Yes, both officers, and to be charged. That's what we're asking. And we want an independent investigator to investigate Butler Township Police for this unnecessary police brutality.
It's not. It's unnecessary because the way she acted. All right, let's go to this other video. Let's see if they. It looks like
All
they
right,
might
folks,
have
a dispute.
This one right here might have the. Let's see the other videos. Let's see
Involved were Tim Zellers and Sergeant Todd Starley. Starley, the one delivering the blows, has been placed on administrative leave. Latrinka Hancock's attorney, Michael Wright.
You know, I thought I saw they had the other video. Let's see, because we don't want to get copyright strike. You know, okay, here's the video. They say that's other videos. Let's see.
She gets out of her car to walk to talk to the police. The police were
holding her back
initially
now.
condescending.
So she's like,
I think the police already knew what they wanted to do when they got there. They weren't trying to
let's watch that
police.
again.
The police were initially condescending.
Because look, she keeps going like this, okay? I mean, you know what? Seeing this makes it look bad,
I think
right?
the police already knew.
Let's watch it again.
She gets out of her car to walk to talk to the police. The police were initially
like, okay, so look, she just went like this to him, okay? On it, I just saw it. She just went like this to him, right?
Condescending. I think the police already knew what they wanted to do when they got there. They weren't trying to.
You know, I gotta admit that does look pretty bad. You know, had he done it right when she hit him and then punched her, okay. But yeah, you know what? Seeing that side, it does change it a little bit. But still, this woman, the way you're acting, you could have prevented all this. All you had to do is say, okay, my name is Latika, I think they said Latika, and her name, taking the piece of paper, and then said, F you, McDonald's, and got out of there. This is not police brutality because of what her color was. This happened because of the way that she interacted with the cops. Did the cop maybe go a little too far? Maybe. Right? But she put them in that situation. They both were wrong. All right, guys. I'm out of here. You guys have a good night. Hope you enjoyed these.